everything's gonna be alright. And when we get there, I'ma see a pretty, pretty, pretty young thing. I'ma ask her to take my hand, head to the floor, we gon' dance. And when we get there, best believe we're gonna do a two-step. Ain't no drama in here, so don't stress. Step to the right, then side to the left.
Good evening, welcome to the Stephen Knight Show. Hope you've had a great Monday despite everything we are experiencing right now. We are back with a show full of hot topics. Next, we have a big announcement that we'll be announcing in our next segment, but I want to thank you for tuning in. Want to remind you all over social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course our official website, StephenKnightShow.com. You can also check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio. Just go to our website, StephenKnightShow.com. Hot topics, we're breaking down everything everyone's talking about. We want you to join the conversation. So join us on Twitter and talk and chat with us while we discuss everything. But when we come back, question of the day, hot topics, and our big announcement. Right back after this.
Text you late night when you laying down. Phone start ringing, you don't hear a sound. I've been working all day. I know you're working all night. I hope it's not too late. Yeah, I'ma call you anyway, hoping that you still awake. Yeah, I've been thinking about you every day. Text you late night when you laying down. Phone start ringing, you don't hear a sound. I've been working all day. Know you're working all night. I hope it's not too late. Yeah, but I'ma call you anyway, hoping that you're still awake. Yeah, I've been thinking about you every day. Yeah, too late. Too late. Baby, am I too late? Yeah. Baby, am I too late? Yeah. Baby, am I too late? Am I too late? To touch you on your favorite place. Baby, am I too late? Tell me. Can we pick another day? Can we pick another night? Maybe on a Tuesday. Too late. Yeah. Every part of your body is like a premonition. You give me chills and goosebumps. You beauty a killer, I tell her to do some. Yeah. Attraction for me is beyond sex. Whole nother level for me, it's beyond next. And if I'm being honest, expression affection just feels odd. You call me pet names, the pumpkin, the cutie pie, but this hot girl summer got me more icy. I can't trust no one, it's not likely. No, it's not likely. Yeah, but I'm trying. Yeah, I'm trying. Yeah, I'm trying. Beautiful for my soul. Let's lose our minds and our clothes. It's hard to fuck with these hoes, cause no one knows what you know. Out of body experience. Love your mind and your body is serious. Can't even say I love you back, but I got your back. My heart is cracked, so hard for me to act on it. I gave this bitch my heart before you turn her back on it. XX heart eater, she gonna snack on it. Girl turn around and let a nigga smack on it. Girl say you ain't here to pass, they smoking that crack. Cause my shorty get passenger and she gon' ride like a drive-by, no mask in her. I'm tryna fuck till you cry up your mascara. I want your beauty and your beast, I want the whole thing, every single last piece. I don't wanna keep you home, but I don't want you to sleep alone. I don't wanna eat alone when I bring a friend along. Text you late night when you laying down. Phone start ringing, you don't hear a sound. I've been working all day. I know you're working all night. hope it's not too late. Yeah. I'ma call you anyway, hoping that you're still awake. Yeah. I've been thinking about you every day. Text you late night when you laying down. The phone start ringing, you don't hear the sound. I've been working all day. I know you're working all night. I hope it's not too late. Yeah. But I'ma call you anyway, hoping that you're still awake. Yeah. I've been thinking about you every day. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Too late, too late. Baby, am I too late? Yeah. Baby, am I too late? Yeah, yeah.
Oh, you so special. You got all this attention, and them thoughts, what, they nobody? They nobody, right? Am I supposed to deal with it, right? I'm supposed to be loyal, right? I'm supposed to love you, right, baby? I know what you be doing on tour. You know I be online. Click-clacking, tip-tapping with my fake press-on nails. I seen the pictures. I ain't pulling no weaves or no tracks out for you or nobody, punto. I'ma be special too. I'ma go get me some attention out here in these streets.
Kept it simple on our first date. You was mad shy with that first plate. Wait, by the time the dessert came, she calling me by my birth name. Peruvian, Panamanian, spoke French, she was raised as Canadian. Spend the day with her, seeing that it's more the game. Favorite artists, Drake, Wayne, and Tory Lanez. Then we start pulling up, some rock sipping, peach, clear, and coconut. You know the vibes, me and baby toasting up. Rap life, backstage, we was posted up. Then your mood switched, it was so abrupt. Got your boy like, yo, what up? Then tried to pull you close to me. She like, who is she supposed to be? Who? Baby girl in the leopard print? She a fan, I just love the way she represent. Look, I know you at your element. Her ass fat, but I'm loving your intelligence. Now shorty about to go post. We can rock and Michelle, baby, meet me in the O's. On God, whatever we gotta go through. It's been you since the day I approached you.
The things I'm feeling is true. From everything we've been through. I don't know about you. The things I'm feeling is true. From everything we've been through. I don't know about you.
Look, think it's time that I upgraded. Damn, baby girl, the love and the lust faded. I'm crushed and frustrated, we fuss and cuss daily. Talking about you here and I'm having a hush, baby. I'm thinking it's trust, maybe you sus and just crazy. Just because you see me surrounded by buff ladies, it come with the fame. It's part of the game, it's hard to explain. But you ain't never heard shame involving my name. The art of rap is getting a larger stack. My blood pressure rising, you giving me heart attacks. When getting involved with Mac, I travel across the map. So I ain't got time for this media blogger crap. In due time, soon that you'll find that I was just a stand-up dude with a true grind. Driven motivation that dudes will lose minds. So I can give a damn about our numbers, so lose mine. Late night, stress, delayed flights. And yeah, I know the stigma with men, but I'm raised right. Getting mad cause I'm all on the gram and I gave likes. And yeah, I thought the picture was cool and I made swipe. But that don't mean I'm looking for bait or a playwright. Cause I'm more scared of dealing with you than stage fright. In my mind it rewinds my thoughts and my insights. All I know is this relationship stuff is pure hype.
The things I'm feeling is true. From everything we've been through. I don't know about you. The things I'm feeling is true. From everything we've been through. I don't know about you. The things I'm feeling is true. From everything we've been through. I don't know about you. The things I'm feeling is true. From everything we've been through. I don't know about
Hey, what's up? This is Michael K. Williams, and you're listening to The Stephen Knight Show.
Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. Miss Parker, how was your weekend?
Happy Monday. It was good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm going into week 7 of this quarantine. How are you holding up?
I'm doing good. I forgot which week we're on, but I'm doing good.
That's good. That's good. How about you, Chicky? How's it going?
It's going well. I'm still breathing, still above ground.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, most definitely. Now, yeah, how's week 7 going with you for the quarantine?
It's going good. You know, we're making it through. It sounds like things might be opening up here around the world in certain parts, I guess. So
which is crazy.
We're making it through. It's feeling like there's a finish line somewhere in there.
Yeah. Actually, I'm doing pretty good. I just know that today was one of those days, and it hits me out of nowhere. I went to bed probably about 1 o'clock this morning, woke up at 5:30 this morning, and then went back to sleep and didn't wake up until 12. I was supposed to be up at 10. So luckily nothing bad happened, but it's just my sleep habits have been back and forth. Sometimes it's fun, then sometimes it's like, wow. But anyway,
right.
We made it through. So the question of the day is, what is the last nice thing someone did for you? Miss Parker, can you think of something someone did for you that was nice?
Yeah. So about a few days ago, I got a message in my Instagram messenger from my trainer, and so I thought maybe he was just giving me an update on, because they send out messages all the time on when videos might be posted and things like that. So I thought it was that. So I opened it very briefly, didn't really read it, just closed it back, because I thought it was, when I realized that it wasn't a workout, I thought it was like a shared, those shared linked messages that people pass on. So I didn't read it until maybe like a day or so later, and he was just telling me that he really appreciated the fact that not only am I keeping up my workout and posting every now and then, maybe once every other week, but he was telling me that he meant to tell me this, earlier in the year, that a lot of the girls that I work out with at my gym have told him that I inspired them. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
And so he was like, you didn't even know that, but I just wanted to share that with you, especially during these times, to let you know that, without even acknowledging or knowing it, that you are inspiring people. And you always talk about how inspiration is by being. So I thought that was really nice. I was like, he went out of his way to tell me that. It was just a really nice message. It was just a really nice message about how he thought that I influenced people. And it was just out of nowhere. And so I really appreciated that. And I told him, I said, I appreciated you letting me know, because I'm the type of person who let people know when they've inspired me or do anything. I reach out and let them know that. Yeah. So that was important that he did that. I don't know. I just thought it was a really kind gesture.
No, seriously, because you never know who's watching you. So yeah, that's great. That was awesome. And thank you for motivating, because you do motivate people with your posts and with your, especially your fitness and mental health, which we'll be highlighting soon. But thank you.
Thank you.
Chike, what's the last nice thing someone did for you?
Wow. As of lately, like with everything that's going on, I will say, and I have to commend all the people that actually salute and, praise their healthcare workers for being on the front line. Like, the love that we are being shown it's so abundant. And I just have to say this. It goes a lot further than what you think it does. And just having that support and knowing that people are really behind us in that way, really, it sets a tone, and it helps us get through the hard parts. Dealing with, sickness and death can tear you down, especially if you're dealing with it multiple times in a day. It can really tear your spirit down. And just, those lunches that are being sent. And I'm going to take this time, I'm sorry, I'm jumping off a little bit. I want to take this time to shout out the company GoPuff. GoPuff sent everyone at my hospital $25 and told them to go shop. So I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
You think about,
really nice.
people. Yeah. And, oh, yeah, if you want to check it out, GoPuff. I also took my picture and put it on their Instagram page. So thank you, GoPuff. Yeah, they basically understand what it is that we go through with the long hours and not able to just do the self-care that we normally would do. Some people are spending nights at the hospital. I personally took a hotel room just to be close to the hospital. And you can't get out and do those necessary things. So the companies have been kicking in and feeding us and, giving us gift certificates for things. So I appreciate that. You understand where we are and you help holding us up so we can do what we need to do. I appreciate that. That's the last thing.
Yeah, most definitely. I saw a story where, it is a lot of pressure, even if you are in the healthcare industry. There was a doctor, he was talking about how he had pronounced 6 people dead in one day. And you could see when he was saying it, how emotionally drained he was. You know what I mean? So it is our first responders, Chike, you, and the other doctors and nurses, and people that work in the grocery stores and delivery services.
Yeah.
We especially thank you all for everything that you're doing.
And if I can add something, if you know someone, thank you, Chike, for all of you guys, everything that you're doing, including yourself, and then coming on here every Monday and still being positive and having a great attitude to do the show. And if you know someone who is in the healthcare business and is working, send them a quick text. Let them know you're thinking of them.
Absolutely.
Send them something positive and happy, and thank them. Just a little word of encouragement can go a long way, because there are people who are mentally and emotionally drained. And I read about a doctor and an EMT gentleman who killed themselves. It was in the last week. So. I'm definitely keeping them in my prayers. Doctors are human beings, and they experience and know pain and emotional pain just as we do, and probably even more. So definitely keep them in the light.
Most definitely.
Amen.
Nair, what about you? What was the last nice thing someone did for you?
Speaking of supermarkets and grocery stores, that's where my nice event happened. A gentleman and I were both standing in separate lines, and when somebody's lights up saying that they're back and ready to take the next customer, the guy, he was just very pleasant in suggesting that I go ahead of him. Even though he had about the same amount of things as I did, it was just very kind gesture to remind that people are very considerate still. People are very caring and giving. And also, I want to say, to add to what Michelle said, the thank you to the healthcare world in general. There's a great Black-owned app called, I think, Bankable Celebrations. I can actually give you the link, but I actually know the person who owns this app, who created this app, and it's a free app where you can actually create little greeting cards or greeting notes, and you can add your voice to it and just shoot it off to anybody. You can, send it to a few people at a time. So I can send the link, but I think it would be a cool little way to kind of share your love with anyone that you may know in the healthcare industry or field. Do a little greeting card. That's all it is. You can attach something more to it, but you can just send a greeting card for free and add your voice to it, and just say thank you. And
please do share that.
Yeah, please.
I will.
We'll put it on the website, thestephenknightshow.com, and
people
can utilize it. Most definitely.
Cool.
Okay, for me, actually, it just happened. I went to go check my mail, and I had a box of cookies. Last thing I need, but a box of cookies waiting for me on my front door. So from my boss. So that was nice.
Wow.
I think I'm gonna give them away to my neighbors though. They have kids because I don't need it. I'm trying to listen. This is getting ridiculous. I don't need no more food. But no, it was nice. It was just a nice gesture,
Right.
But tweet us at home, Stephen Knight Show, SHO, and let us know what's the last nice thing someone did for you. All right, so Hot Topics, coronavirus update. We've reached 3 million cases worldwide, with 879,000 recovered and 208,000 deaths worldwide. Here in the United States, we have 1.1 million cases with 113,000 recovered and over 56,000 deaths. As you know, in Georgia, we've opened up barbershops, nail salons, and on Friday, and then today, some restaurants and movie theaters have opened as well. They have strict rules, but a lot of places have decided not to open up. In general, they don't think it's worth it. There's a video that went viral in Chicago where there's a house party with over 100 people there, and the mayor has vowed to take action against the person that was involved, the people that were involved. Also, in California, beaches were open and people were not social distancing, and that mayor and governor as well has said they're going to take action so that doesn't continue to happen. There was a survivor, and I saw this video over the weekend because they were showing Piedmont Park here in Atlanta that a lot of people are there at some cookout. And I was looking at the video, and I said, hold on, I don't know the person, but I've seen the person before. And they had made a post on Facebook maybe a month ago talking about their battle with the coronavirus, and they were given weekly updates, and they were in the video. No mask on, side by side with other people. And so I guess they were called out. The guy was called out, and he made a video apologizing for it. He was saying that, after experience that near-death experience, you're not always thinking right and all that. But he's gotten a lot of backlash with that. Also, Trump, late last week, he suggested that injecting yourself with disinfectant would cure you from the coronavirus, which the next day he said he was just joking. So after backlash. So with everything that we've seen over the last week and weekend, Ms. Parker, what are your thoughts at this point on coronavirus?
I have a few points to hit. I think with a gentleman who went out after he had corona, there is I don't know if it's a misunderstanding if it's true or not, but a friend of mine who recovered from corona, and I'm not saying that the gatherings that are happening are, let me back up. Okay. I'm very proud of a lot of these businesses for not opening, even though they can open. Mm-hmm. The next day after he announced that businesses could open, he also sent out a list of regulations and rules as to how they can open.
Right.
I think after the businesses read those, which is really dumb, you have to sit people 6 feet apart. When they're waiting in line, they have to wait outside the door. If they're at the restaurant eating, everyone, including the waitress, has to wear a mask. Mm-hmm. It's just not worth it. It's not. It's, if you have to do all those things on the list to go out to eat, you might as well stay at home and eat. You know what I mean? It's just. So I think the businesses, after they read that, realized, well, that's not an experience. Because going out to eat, you go out to eat because of the experience.
Right.
So I am very proud of a lot of the businesses that are on that list that can open and has not opened. Mm-hmm. A lot of the gyms. The gyms, I ran this afternoon. The gym wasn't open.
Yeah.
I'm happy that these businesses, regardless of how much money they're losing or not losing, are being responsible. Mm-hmm. A lot of the gatherings that are taking place in public places. At parks and beaches and people's homes. Yeah. They're gathering are put on by private citizens. So I think we got to be mindful of that, that regardless of what the governor says, the businesses are doing their part, but individuals are not.
Most definitely.
With that being said, I ran this on Saturday afternoon at Chastain Park, and it's not just black people. That park was packed.
Yeah.
Chastain is not a black park. It's in a white neighborhood. Mm-hmm. And it's mostly white people that goes there. It was packed. There were picnics because the park is also a golf course, so they actually picnicked on the golf course. Mm-hmm. I will say one thing about the white citizens of Georgia that I saw doing that. They were with their family and they were spacious. Mm. But the whole golf course was packed with people.
Yeah.
I think, however, compared to what I saw at Piedmont was just completely irresponsible.
Oh, yeah.
I think if you are going to be there at the park, which I was, being mindful of how close you are to people, because the park was so packed, I had to run off the trail because I didn't want to run so close to people. So people got to be mindful of how they interact, even being outside.
Yeah.
With the gentleman that you're talking about who was at Piedmont Park was just a mess this weekend. the gentleman you were talking about, I have a friend who recovered from COVID-19. He was told that because he's recovered, he can't get it again.
Right.
He's been asked to come in and give blood.
Yeah.
Donate blood for people who are suffering from it because he has recovered, his blood is like not required, but
they're seeking
way
people
to treat other people.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
To find a vaccine.
So that gentleman may have been giving the same message. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but he may have been giving that same message. Regardless, he's already hopefully he's learned from his mistake and will be more responsible moving forward. I just don't understand the need to go out and party and do things. To me, it's just outside. It's always going to be there. We're always going to have time to do these things. You can't enjoy any of that if you're not here.
Right.
At the end of it.
Exactly.
So I think that's just my takeaway from it. I think people will have to make their own individual. And this is what I posted. It's an individual responsibility for you to be responsible for yourself and your family.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The government can tell you everything they want to tell you, close down, whatever. If you're determined to go out there and get sick, you will.
Right.
And
I mean,
so,
if you think about, even Trump telling people to inject themselves, and people in New York did that. Some of them did inject themselves. Yeah. It can kill you. You know what I mean? So we can't always listen to the government. I mean, obviously the officials, the health officials, we want to listen to them, but you really have to, like you said, be mindful and do your research and do what's best for you. You know what I mean? So I agree with you on that. What about you, Chike, a healthcare worker? What are your thoughts on this whole coronavirus where we stand today?
Wow. So I don't agree with the opening of the businesses. I understand the economy does have to get kicked back in at some point in time, but they were talking about here in Pennsylvania not necessarily opening up, but when it does come back to opening things up, it's going to happen in stages. So they're talking about doing something called curbside service. So stores can actually open, but they only can do business to the curb. So like you pull up in your car and they'll come out and they'll service you, or however that's supposed to work. So I had this conversation earlier today at work, and we were talking about one of the busiest streets in downtown Philadelphia is Walnut Street, which has a lot of shops on it. And if they open things back up and you're doing the curbside service with a street like Walnut Street, how does that work? Because I don't understand how you can do curbside service on one of the busiest streets in the city, where cars actually pull up. So they're just making quick suggestions, and I think this is countrywide. They're making suggestions based off of trying to get the money flowing again, but they're not completely thinking it through.
Right.
And that's not even just the whole medical aspect of it. This is like a whole facility aspect of it. Like, how do you maneuver in that capacity when we're not geared for that? That's not how we were designed.
Yeah.
There was a woman on the news. She was speaking of her business being a business where she can't do curbside business. She's not going to be able to survive paying the lease that she needed to pay by doing curbside business. Her business is built off of people actually coming into her space. Mm-hmm. How do you upsell? How do you have salesman tactics from the curb? Right. How do you get people to experience other merchandise that you may have from the curb? So it's basically people ordering from stuff that they know, or maybe their online presence has to be better than what it is. But I still don't see, because some people really are into the shopping experience. Some people actually physically need to be inside of a facility in order for them to feel like going in their pockets and spending their money. So I don't understand how this is going to work. I think that everything is so premature, and I think they're jumping the gun.
Yeah, no, I agree. You know, it was interesting. Like, someone sent me a post today, actually, like before we start recording the show, and you know, the governor has started to open up places here in Atlanta, and so someone emailed, when we open up the governor's mansion so we can do a tour, and they got the response. They got the response that the nation's going through a pandemic, and the mansion will be closed for safety purposes going forward. Then why you got to open everything else up? Makes no sense. Nair, what are your thoughts?
Man, I hope everyone is a lot wiser than this taking this advice, like you said, just the way it is, injecting yourself with disinfectant. I hope people are just a little bit more conscious than that and say, you got to do what's best for you and your family. I don't understand what the rush is. I don't understand why people just have to get out there and just be around people in such close quarters and such, trying times. I love going to the movie theater. Right. I love the movie experience. So that's been something that I've been missing. But I ain't going to no movie theater no time soon.
Right.
I'm not. There's more at stake. Even if it's just me that gets sick, that's too much for me. But I'm thinking about other people that I have to be around, and family members, and just all sorts of things. I don't know why people just can't. I get it. I think everyone's heart is in the right place. People want to get out, and businesses, the government wants to get businesses up and going. I get it. But there probably are other options that can contribute. There are many other options that can help. Not fix everything, but definitely soothe or help during the times that we're going through. Not many people expected to ever see a pandemic in their life. I know I never did. But I hope this is an experience or a moment in time that allows everyone to come out much wiser with their business models, with their savings, with just many other precautions that we might be able to put into perspective because of this. So what do you think?
Yeah, most definitely. The thing is that these states, 19 states have opened up, and they're not even following, because there's no state that has followed or is in line with the White House guidelines. And the guidelines are you have to have 14 days with no new cases, and no state has reported that. And so the fact that they're opening these things, I think, is irresponsible, and I think that it's deadly. And I had to tell somebody who commented on my page, it doesn't bother you until it infects you. You know what I mean? Until you're infected, your family or someone.
Very true.
And I have a friend who lost his best friend and his uncle in the same weekend because of the coronavirus. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And so it's I think it's just irresponsible. And I think that we have to do better, especially, well, not just especially us, but we have to do better as a people and not being not just going out doing what we want to do. I know we're all tired of being in the house. I know that. But it really hit me Saturday. I was like, I'm bored. But I'm like, I'm not going nowhere.
Right.
Going to the grocery store for me causes anxiety. You know what I mean? I have my mask and I have my Purell in the car, but it's still, it's just, I don't know.
And it goes to you. I'm sorry.
I was going to ask a question. Isn't it true that the states that opened up are all Republican states?
Probably so. Yeah, but even Trump even said he in a press conference, it was either Thursday or Friday, that he doesn't agree with Georgia opening up. He said, but of course it's up to the governor, but he said he doesn't agree with it.
I find it really ironic. I'm sorry, Nair. I find it really ironic that people, before all this, people would bury themselves into their electronic devices, being separate and not being social at all. Then all of a sudden you're told to be separate, and now you have a problem with it. That's very ironic to me.
It always. And here's my barometer too. China, I think I saw this somewhere recently. China is even apparently just reporting that they are on their 10th day only.
But China lies.
We're talking about a 14-day. We're talking about a 14-day window period. Yeah, they do lie. But what I'm saying is to the fact that they're reporting they're on their 10th day only. They've reported no deaths. They could be lying, but 10 days, that's a big victory, and they still ain't opened nothing up. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying, why would people think that it's okay here?
Right.
I'm like, I got cabin fever too.
Right.
Even though I mostly work from a computer, I still get cabin fever. But my going out is I'm going to take a ride in the car, or I'm not so, I don't get so anxiety ridden to go into Walmart or Target. That's how I will get out, or a supermarket. So I'll get out, I'll look at some things, I'll do what I got to do, or I'll get some fresh air like Michelle does, running and things. But I don't got to be out in a party.
Right.
You know, that's just crazy to me.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
Yeah.
And those images were horrific of that party. They were horrific.
They were so close. And they were so close. It looked like one person was kissing. It's like, I know half of them people got kids.
Yeah.
So it's beyond selfish to just go to, you know, for you. But some of y'all going back home to get your kids or to be around your kids probably. You know, that's crazy.
You know, what's his name on CNN that had it? Who's the governor's brother?
Cuomo. Chris
Cuomo. Yeah, Chris Cuomo. I love Chris Cuomo. His wife caught it, and now their 14-year-old son has caught it, and the mom feels horrible because she gave it to him, and you know, no parent wants to do that, and so it's just like people got to be smart. I'm sorry, and you know, again, they're all in the same house. It's not like she was partying and acting crazy, but you know, that's how real it can happen. It can be passed to your child. It can be passed to your spouse, you know, or loved one. So. Anyway, let's take a quick break. We'll come back with a few more hot topics and a big announcement right back after this.
We in this biatch, like all over our sweethearts. Self-discovery, lesson learned, we on our Alfred Hitchcock. East Coast hard, West Coast hard. Rest in peace to pop, poetic hip-hop. Round and round we go. Life cycle, TikTok, it's me. Somewhat an anomaly. First degree of hip-hop hypocrisy. Never fit in what you motherfucking label me. As I sit back and watch, never interject. Money in the bank with the ill concept. Vision is clear, never gets complex. Chillin' on the scene like Peace Hotel. For the 1800 and vanilla Coke. Sit back and chill, maybe even smoke. Summertime lounging, good to go. Chillin' at the beach, that's how we roll. I'm making sexy, baby.
Make it sexy, make it super fly.
I'm making sexy, baby.
Make it sexy, make it fly high.
I'm making sexy, baby.
Make it sexy, make it super fly.
Making sexy, baby.
Make it shake it right here, just like sexy, baby.
We be the scene stillers, way back as stillers. Hollywood Hill, real dealers, no filters. Lounging in the cut with the cold chillers. Twisted on the sun, propaganda for fun. Run, forest, run, dream builders. Fly establishment, clean with fresh kicks. Good evening, sunbathing where the money went. Harlem bars, Harley stars, two twisted Uber cars. Stripper poles, diamond gold, church basket, tithe and hold. Private gyms, salty ribs, exclusive diamond fold. Friends, purple label, more stable. Life coach, now you're able. Cabotin, spa stands, freaky hints. But yo, where the money, where to make it sexy, baby.
Make it sexy, make it super fly.
Make it sexy, baby.
Make it sexy, make it fly high.
I'm making sexy, baby.
Make it sexy, make it super fly.
I'm making sexy, baby.
Make it shake it right here, just don't break it, get that sexy.
Scene stillers, Hollywood heel dealers, lounging in the cut with the big willers, rocking clean whips and fresh kicks. Harlem bars, Harley stars, twisted Uber cars.
Car ride by with the booming system. Throwback vibe with a good detention. Loving who you are, don't be scared to mention. Chillin' with my beats, no ill pretension. Catch the waves, dancing days, Sundays, fun days, Fridays, payday, make money any day. Whatever you do, love it and be free. And remember, I'm making sexy, baby.
Make it sexy,
baby.
make it super fly.
Making sexy, baby.
Make it sexy, make it fly high.
I'm making sexy, baby.
Make it sexy, make it super fly.
Making sexy, baby.
Make it shake it right here, just don't break it, get that sexy.
Making sexy, baby.
Make it sexy, make it super fly. Make it sexy, make it fly high.
Making sexy, baby.
Make it sexy, make it super fly. Make it shake it, just don't break it, get that sexy.
Making sexy, baby.
The vulnerable one.
I never felt like this before. This life feels incredible.
eternal feels like infinity. Baby, I'd run till the end of time just to have you in my life. I'll never let go. Give me your hand, come grab a hold. Let me touch you right to your soul. Let's do it together, make it last forever. Let's let it be for all eternity. Till the ends of the earth, I will follow you, girl. Love you forever, forever, forever. Till the ends of the earth, I will follow you, girl. Many girls have come and they have gone, but no one compares to you. So baby, I'm trying to make you see our future feels like a fantasy. No doubt this love is here to stay, and I know you feel the same way. Never let go. Give me your hand, come grab a hold. Let me touch you right to your soul. Let's do it together, make it last forever. Let's let it be for all eternity. Till the ends of the earth, I will follow you, girl. Love you forever, forever, forever. Till the ends of the earth, I will follow you, girl. Day I found to be everything you thought you'd ever need. I love you forever. I love you forever. Girl, I love you forever. I promise I'll always be true. 'Cause can't nobody do it like you. I love you forever. I love you forever. Girl, I love you forever. I love you forever. I'll never let go. Give me your hand, come grab a hold. Let me touch you right to your soul. Let's do it together, make it last forever. Let's let it be for all eternity. Till the ends of the earth, I will follow you, girl. Love you forever, forever, forever. Till the ends of the earth, I will follow you, girl.
Hey, yo, peace world. It's the Love King of R&B, Raheem Devon, and you're listening to the Stephen Knight Show. Keep it locked right here. Love life.
Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. I want to remind you we're all over social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course our official website, thestephennightshow.com. We do have a very big announcement. We're very excited that starting May 4th, you're going to be able to see us while we have these discussions. We're going to be going to video, but more on that in the next week. But we have some new segments coming out. We have some really good things going on. So stay tuned for that. All right.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Very excited. All right. So let's get to some hot topics. Kanye West, if you haven't heard, he has hit the Billionaire Club. But apparently he was rubbed the wrong way by Forbes. So according to CNN, Kanye, the publication, Forbes said that he had earnings of $1.3 billion, but he sent a message to Forbes letting them know it's $3.3 billion since no one at Forbes knows how to count. Earlier this week, So, what are your thoughts on Kanye West hitting the Billionaires Club, which surpasses him as the highest earning rapper? What are your thoughts on that, Ms. Parker?
I'm not surprised that he would behave that way.
Yeah. He says no one knows how to count. Okay, Chike.
just congratulations. I mean, yay, Kanye.
Right, yay, Kanye. No, yeah.
Oh my God! Am I the only one that is happy about this?
I'm happy for him, but I mean,
I like Kanye. I know. He is wild, but I really like Kanye, and I am super. Yeah, he's beyond. I'm super happy for him. I really am. Mm-hmm. If it's accurate and true, I really am happy for this guy, man. Genuinely.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm happy for him.
But
I just think. Go ahead.
I was just going to say that I don't have anything against Kanye himself. This is just that type of personality for me, period. I have a problem with people who are abundantly blessed who do not humble themselves.
Exactly.
I have a problem with that, and I cannot gravitate toward that type of energy. It turns me off.
Because there's
TK, do you think his I'm sorry, Steve.
Go ahead.
Oh, do you think, Chike, his bipolar diagnosis has anything to do with his personality?
Probably so. And I'm going to put behind that, I don't care. I don't care. So he could have the mental illness, right?
Who's that same?
Michelle. Parker.
And this is what I'm about to go into explains not so much him, but me. Mm. Once I get turned off, I'm turned off. Mm. And being an artist, I have a personal reverence for other artists. And I do not have that for Kanye. It started out that way in the beginning because I find him to be an awesome artist. But I also find him to be pompous, egregious, rude, disrespectful, all of those things that I despise in a human being. So anything that I've ever liked him for, he lost me, and I have a bad taste in my mouth for him. So the human. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I think you and I had the right idea first. Congratulations, good for him. Keep it moving.
Exactly.
Because I think a lot of times people think that if you don't like someone or if someone's spirit doesn't align with yours, you have to bash them. I'm very mindful of that, and that's why I was looking on. Everything you said, I agree with, but we don't have to have an opinion about him or about
No, not at all.
It's ended with what's the girl's name? Tiffany Haddish. People be going in on her. And I get it, but you can choose not to like someone and just keep it moving. You don't have to bash. And I think for us, especially in our culture, I'm always proud when a black person does well. Mm-hmm. I never want to come across as bashing another black person for making money because it's hard out here for us, okay? So nothing comes easy. Yeah. So mental illness or not, the man is crazy. His personality doesn't in my spirit that it's uncomfortable, but good for him.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I really am happy for him though, because I've seen Kanye through his art and his initiatives, his programs. He does really try to. I know he's a little bit off, but he tries to balance it out with his efforts in providing opportunities for other creatives, and especially, believe it or not, for other black creatives. Even though he's married outside, he does try to provide. And I know a lot of people who can speak to that. So that's what I like about it. That's what I truly appreciate about him. I'm hopeful that he'll use his resources to continue to grow opportunities for other creatives and other black creators as well.
Yeah. With him, it's just like every time he does something that I like, he does something I can't stand. And the fact that he's a Trump supporter, that is something I can't stand. But the fact that he, say a Forbes magazine got it wrong, his earnings. There's a better way to say, actually, I made 3.3 than since nobody at Forbes can count. There's a better way of saying that. But that's Kanye, so.
Exactly.
All right, so next subject. So, as we know, Georgia was near the center of a national controversy when Governor Brian Kemp surprisingly announced plans to gradually open the state, despite our mayor, Keisha Lance Bottoms, being unaware and disapproving of his plans. Well, now Tyler Perry, is caught somewhere in the middle. So apparently he's trying to reopen his studio, which is massive, but he's doing it slowly. He said he's not in a rush to do it, but he wants to do it. So he wants to test all of the cast members and the crew that work there. And then if you test negative, then you will stay on the campus. Apparently, he has over 70 apartments on his campus, his studio. Then they would stay there and they would work, and he would pay you extra for doing so. If you were one of those workers, the actor or the crew member, would you feel comfortable going back to work under these new guidelines, Ms. Parker?
Yes, I would. Tyler Perry paying for me to stay out there, and he's testing everyone. That's probably the safest place to be.
That is true. That is true.
You know everybody's negative. You know that for a fact. Yes, I would line up, pack my bags, and go.
Well, the only problem is with the testing is you can test negative today and then 2 days later test positive. You know what I mean? So I don't know. But what about you, Chica?
Tyler Perry's doing more for his people than some of the healthcare facilities are doing for theirs. I'm just saying. And I'd definitely be there. But I mean that's a very bold move because, you know, me being connected to the film industry, you know, we do movie reviews here. Where does the movie and the film industry go from here? Because in order for you to act and to replicate life in that fashion, you have to be intimate. You have to be close.
Yeah. What about you, Chike? I mean, Nair, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm also thinking that's a good move. I mean, I'd probably be there as well. He's another one that I'm really hopeful about continuing to use his resources to. He's done nothing but support and help our community.
Absolutely.
Nothing but of creators and otherwise. So I probably will be on board as well.
I think anytime he's not trying to do business as usual. We have to find different ways, strategic ways, to get back to some kind of normalcy. And I think that's what he's trying to do.
And if anyone has ever seen Black AF on Netflix and you see the Tyler Perry portion, that explains what he's doing completely.
Yes. Yeah. We were talking about this on Movie Reviews last week. Tyler Perry has a cameo on Black AF, and I was shocked. I saw Tyler Perry where I never saw him before. But he explained the way he has created his brand, and that he does not care what people say. He does not care what the Oscars say, or if he gets an Oscar award or nomination. He doesn't care about that. He cares about doing his message his way, and obviously it's worked for him. So, yeah. I do want to talk about Black.
We'll say he's unapologetically black.
Yeah, he is. I mean, that scene, I was like, wow. I know Tyler Perry said me F-bombs in his life. But yeah. I never saw that side of Tyler Perry. All right, so real quick. So Netflix had the series Love is Blind, which is when singles commit to relationships and marriages before actually seeing the object of their affection in person. One of the stars, Diamond, if you remember real briefly, her and this guy, Carlton Morton, they chose each other and then they met in person. And so after they're in this house and they decided they propose and they said they'll do, that's when they go on to see if they really will get married. So they were sent to some island, I can't remember which one. And he had a secret. So he finally built up the nerve to tell her that he was bisexual. And she didn't go off on him. She was just shocked. And she said that she just needed some time to process it. And he went off on her. Went completely off on her. And so they obviously didn't work out. And so she was asked, the Shade Room interviewed her. And she was asked, where do they stand now? Are they cool or whatever? And she said that he has shown himself, because they had a reunion show as well. And he went off on a reunion show as well. And she said that she's seen his character and she knows it's best that they just don't have any kind of contact together. Then they asked her, would she be on season 2? Would she be interested in being on season 2? And she said no, because the whole premise is that you're not supposed to know the person. You're not supposed to know what the person looks like or anything. And she felt like her story's already been out there. People know what she looks like. So she said in order for her to be on there again, it would have to be a different premise. So what are your thoughts on, first of all, Ms. Parker, what are your thoughts on the show? Could you be on a show like that where I know you watch shows like that. Would you be willing to be on a show like that where you don't get to see the person or know what they look like before accepting their proposal?
I think for me, it's not a question of whether or not I would be on the show like that. I've been obsessed with arranged marriages since I was a kid, or the concept of it has been always intriguing to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for me, as I grew older, the reason it became more of an interest and more of a topic. I've seen every documentary on arranged marriages. It's just it's intriguing to me.
Yeah.
So not just reality shows. And the first reality show to kind of marry that concept of arranged marriages was Love at First Sight. It has been on for almost 9 seasons now. Actually, no, they're going on there in every season.
Okay.
And so I started watching that, and then because that show was successful to a point, to a certain degree, other shows started coming out that kind of mirror the same idea. So when Love is Blind popped up on my Netflix, I was like, nah, because they copied my other show. I'm not gonna watch that.
Mm-hmm.
But when I finally did watch it, I enjoyed the concept of it. It was a different from Married at First Sight, different twist to it. I don't know how fair it was for them to have a bisexual person on, but I think it was an experimental thing. They wanted to kind of see how someone would react to it. And I think for me, the reason I've always been intrigued by arranged marriages or situations like that is because as an adult, I've always had this question of, is love a choice or a feeling? And as I grew and healed and grew into a person that is in a better emotional and mental state, I know that it's both, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's what these shows kind of poke at, whether or not love is a feeling, or if it's just, or is it a learned thing? Do you learn to love somebody, or do you love them, just from physical appearances? Either way, I did see the show. Carson was a hot mess.
Mm-hmm.
They should have done a better job as far as probably thinking that one through. I agree with her. The whole show is about not knowing who you are, so her going on there wouldn't be a sensible thing. He wants to go back on.
He wants to go back on there. He wants to be on season 2.
Yeah, he did an interview with TMZ. He just want to be on TV.
That's what it is.
Yeah, he want to be on TV. He's a person who he wants to be on TV. Someone tagged me in one of his pictures. He put his birthday was I guess earlier in April, and my girlfriend and I were talking about him. We actually saw him at the brunch festival, so she tagged me because I was so disgusted with him. She tagged me in his birthday photos, which was extra as well. And when I went on his page, all he's been doing is posting pictures of Diamond, saying how sorry he is, his wife and ex-wife. Yes, all he does is he posts her at least once a week and trying to get her attention and publicly apologize.
She said she recognized his apology, but she said she had nothing for him.
Yeah, but he's doing too much on his page. Yeah. Every Wednesday she's his YCY and all this. Like, calm down, But the show is intriguing. And those type of shows are my guilty pleasures, just because I'm so intrigued by how people meet and why they fall in love. And some of those shows actually work out, and some people actually work out. Like for example, Married at First Sight. They've had at least 7 couples that are still together, and then 5 babies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the show's been on for like 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, that's my take on it.
Yeah. What about you, Chike? Could you be on a show like that?
So before I answer that, I have to ask Ms. Parker a question. So, Ms. Parker, you connect those shows to arranged marriages?
Yeah, I do. Because arranged marriages is a cultural thing, right? And how we think of arranged marriages, I know what the question you're asking. How you and I would think of arranged marriages is different, because in those cultures, they do it that way. But we had to figure out a way to make sense for our culture. The reason arranged marriage, the concept of arranged marriages is so foreign to U.S. to Americans is because in our culture, the idea of your parents going out there and it being a generational thing is so far-fetched. So the producers came up with a way that the concept is the same. You don't know the person, but the way they go about doing it relates to us. We're able to, we like reality show. We know about blind dates. They make it relatable to the culture which they're selling the show to.
I mean, I get that, but the only thing, because I know some people that have been in arranged marriage, and it's due through their families, and the big difference from it being a produced show versus your family is that your partner or your future partner is being vetted by people that love you and care about you and is looking for the well-being of you and the future of your family, as opposed to producers putting people together to try to get ratings and maybe not necessarily caring about the end result so much. But a real arranged marriage, as far as your family is concerned, they're looking for the betterment of two families and the relationship itself. So I don't know.
I think that's what the cultural thing comes in for me. I think I do agree with you. Their purpose and the end result is different, right? But the whole idea of the unknown, not knowing the person beforehand, I think it's kind of the same idea.
So, to answer your question, Stephen, could I be on a show like that? Knowing what I was stepping into, I'm not into blind dates or anything like that, but to be on the show and you're gonna give me a paycheck to appear on TV to act this out for you, I could do that.
What about you, Nair?
Yeah, could I be on the show like that? Yeah, I think it would be fun. I think it would be really fun, and it'd be interesting for me to find out, how I would, navigate through an experience like that. How am I choosing people? And it's funny that Ms. Parker was talking about that, because I was just speaking about this sometime this past week with someone else, and we were talking about this idea of love and how we're kind of like socialized into what it may be and conditioned into our understanding of it until we really take a look at it on our own and say, what is love and how do we decide that? Because when you look up that term on Google, have you guys ever done that?
What is love?
No. Just look up the term, the definition of love, and you will see hundreds of thousands of millions of ideas of people's ideas. Of course there are. So it's kind of like, and I like your answer, Ms. Parker. It's a balance. No matter what you put into that mix, it's a balance, in my opinion, for whoever that is. And I would be curious to see how I navigate through a process without being able to, I guess, see someone, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you don't see.
Yeah. And how I choose them. I also I feel like I'm always follow. What's the time, Ms. Parker?
Pisces. She's a
Pisces. You guys the same sign, ain't y'all?
Yeah, we're both Pisces.
That's why I get it. Yeah, I feel like y'all be saying a lot of the same things, but the truth is, I've also been very intrigued in arranged marriages and those kind of situations, and kind of trying to figure out how that looks, how that works, and it's been something that's always been an interest of mine as well, especially because it's a popular part of my religious system. It's a popular part.
That's true.
So I've always been intrigued by that. So interesting. But yeah,
let me add something really quick, guys, if I can. So, Stephen, the Married at First Sight show that I watch?
Right.
It's because it's in the 10th season, going on the 11th season, you can definitely tell, and I think Chike will get a kick out of this, you can definitely tell that some of the couples know early on this not going to work.
Yeah.
And you can tell they're holding on for dear life to get that check.
But you can see that in Love is Blind, too.
Contract. I think that's in their contract that, you don't get paid the full amount if you don't make it to the reunion show. You can tell they're holding on for dear life. I know the two black couple that was on last season, they knew it wasn't going to work. They were trying everything they could to make it through those 6 weeks to get that check.
Yeah, I watched Love is Blind, and most couples that stayed together.
And I've never seen that show, by the way.
Yeah, most of the couples that stayed together didn't surprise me. They're the breakout couple, I think, is the interracial couple, and I can't think of their names. But she had never dated a white guy, and he had dated black girls before, but she had never dated a white guy. But she was just open, and she knew there'd be some differences and whatnot. But they're together. I mean, they've been on a bunch of shows together, and they're a team. You can tell it. But some couples I knew weren't gonna work. but yeah, and Carlton, by the way, he was also on Housewives of Atlanta working for I think Cynthia, and got into it with Kenya Moore. So I think he just wants attention. You know what I mean? Especially after what he went through on this season, and then now let's go back on second season. I think that he's attention whore. All right, so our last topic, and really just shout out to Happy Freedom Day to all of South Africa. The holiday not only celebrates South Africa's freedom, but it also commemorates the first post-apartheid election that took place back in 1994. South Africa's president spoke about the holiday and said, "The promise we made on the 27th of April 1994 can no longer be deferred. We must make real the right of our people, our health care, food, shelter, water, Social Security, and land. So happy 26 years of freedom and democracy to South Africa. Ms. Parker, Nair, thank you so much for joining us for Hot Topics. Can't wait to see y'all on our next show. And Chika, I'll see you on the reviews.
All right, have a good night, guys.
All right.
Yeah, have a good night. Thank you so much.
All right, right back after this.
Yeah, yeah, you know the viral.
Who you know do it like this? Who you know do it like that? Who you know do it like this? Who you know do it like that? Got 2 sticks in the whip. Got your bitch in the back. Who you know do it like this? Who you know? Who you know do it like that? Old school Porsche, your main bitch in it. She in it. Bando jumping like IHOP. Ain't no top 5, my name ain't on it. I'm on it. You niggas gassed up, why not stop? Shorty fat, now I hit that before the transfer. I did. I hit the bottle girls and the dancers. With V8, nigga, I'm the answer. Fuck them cameras. Who want smoke, catch this cancer. I need a bag, fuck a minimum wage. Let her run up the tab when we went on a date. You know later that night, I'm a nut on the face. You know I'm out on Bono, who might be the case. We still running the marathon, who you gon' race? I just pretending to say. You out here wearing the cape. Tequila shots out of the vase. Yeah, yeah, Who you know do it like this? Who you know do it like that? Who you know do it like this? Who you know do it like that? Got 2 sticks in the whip. Got your bitch in the back. I got her. Who you know do it like this? Who you know? Who you know do it like that? She know I'm lit tryna hop on the ride. Gotta keep it 1,000, no reason to lie. Peanut butter breath in the leaf, I'm in the sky. She said she don't smoke, I knew that was a lie. She wrote up a bill for a line. She said deeper, I aim for a spine. Got her a visa, she loving the States. Look up at me, I'm the stars on the rave. We fuck on the wake up, I fucked up a makeup. We both want the same thing, we try and get our cake up. Woo, woo. I fuck around, crib it down for a penny. Woo, woo. I gotta blame that on the Henny. Old school Porsche with your main bitch in it. She in it. Bando jumping like IHOP. Who you know do it like this? Who you know do it like that? Who you know do it like this? Who you know do it like that? Got 2 sticks in the whip. Got your bitch in the back. Who you know do it like this? Who you know do it like that?
Showing me my path. My heart belongs in your grasp. I only see you underneath your light. I can't survive without your kiss. My life dripping from your lips. I'm nowhere if I'm not by your side. It feels like time slows down, and every breath is getting longer. I feel my heart sinking to the ground, and every weakness is getting stronger. And as I'm falling, I can feel you lift me up underneath your wings. And it's every touch how you take my love and bring it back to life. You bring it back to life. I feel your fire burn underneath my skin, and it's every touch how you take my love and bring it back to life. You bring it back to life. And I'm breathing in every single sound you make. I can feel your words all in the air. With your voice making my heart beat. If your soul is all I see, it's like the rest of the world is not there. It feels like time slows down, and every breath is getting longer. I feel my heart sinking to the ground, and every weakness is getting stronger. And as I'm falling, I can feel you lift me up underneath your wings, and it's every touch how you take my love and bring it back to life. You bring it back to life. I feel your fire burn underneath my skin, and it's every touch how you take my love and bring it back to life. You bring it back to life. And as I'm falling down, I feel you lift me up underneath your wings, and it's every touch how you take my love and bring it back to life. You bring it back to life. I feel your fire burn underneath my skin, and it's every touch how you take my love and bring it back to life. You bring it back to life.
This is Janera, and you're listening to The Stephen Knight Show.
Welcome back to The Stephen Knight Show. Adam, week 7 of quarantine. How's it going, you and the missus?
It's going well. You know, the weather's still kind of chilly up here, and I'm sure Chige can agree. But yeah, we're still not getting like the nice weather that I'm expecting in April. But it wasn't that bad on Saturday, so we did go out and we did some grocery shopping and kind of did a. DC's doing this like shop small DC kind of thing, small business Saturday. So, you know, we shopped around and stuff like that. But, you know, we're ready. We're ready, just like you in Georgia, to go to our bowling alleys and tattoo parlor and, you know, the usual. Yeah, exactly. The six foot massages.
We're going to social distance while we do it. I don't know how.
Exactly.
Right.
No, me neither. But how about you?
I'm hanging in there. I'm not participating in that, and thankfully, a lot of businesses aren't doing that. My gym sent sent a text after the governor announced that they'd be opening last Friday, and they said how they're excited and all that. But then they sent an email saying they decided to wait. So I'm glad. It makes no sense. Yeah. And the thing is, they want you to wear a mask. I can barely breathe in the mask when I'm grocery shopping. I can't imagine working out with a mask on. I'm sorry, I can't do it.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
we had a lady in New Jersey pass out in her car.
Yeah.
From wearing the mask and hyperventilating. Yep.
I sweat.
Oh my God.
Literally sweating. I said, I think they think I have the coronavirus. I was sweating so bad one day with that mask on. I don't know, but yeah.
Yeah, and it's so funny. I don't know about you guys, but we're already having the guy on the corner selling the masks out of the bags. Instead of the clone samples, we have the mask guys. Yeah. And it's like different sports teams and stuff like that. And so
yeah, they're trying to make money.
I don't know how good they are and if they actually were breathable, but it's very interesting.
I'm just ready for this all to be over. But everyone stay safe, wash your hands, and follow the health officials, not the president. But anyway, I'll let you two take it over with movie reviews.
Sure thing. So I'll kick it off. I did a Netflix double feature this past week, and the first movie I saw was The King, and this one was actually released in October of last year, and it's a Netflix film that follows a couple of William Shakespeare's plays based on King Henry V, and it stars Timothée Chalamet and Robert Pattinson and Joel Edgerton, and it's an interesting movie. I did like it, and I'll give a little backstory. I actually started the movie expecting I would fall asleep because I saw the trailer, and it kind of looked like a little slow-moving, but it basically is Shakespeare's telling of the rise of Henry V of England. But I enjoyed it. The performances were really good. The story was good. It's, again, not based on totally true events, but there was obviously a Henry V. But the way it was shot and the way it was composed actually kept me entertained throughout the whole process. So if you're looking for something a little different, I will say it is kind of a drama, and there are some slow parts to it, then check it out. It's on Netflix, so there's no additional cost if you have a Netflix account. The other movie I saw, which just came out this weekend, is called Extraction. And this one is a movie with Chris Hemsworth. I always get the Hemsworths confused. Chris Hemsworth, and he stars as an Australian kind of like special forces guy that's going in for one more mission to extract this Indian kid who was kidnapped by a rival gang in Bangladesh, and he has to go in and take the kid, and of course along the way something goes wrong. So it is, again, a Netflix movie that fills their kind of action generic movie role, and overall I wanted to like the movie. I knew what I was seeing when I was getting into it. It's, again, a generic action movie. You're going to watch a lot of cool scenes and stuff like that. Overall, I was kind of disappointed. The action, while fine, did feel a little bit like you were watching someone play Call of Duty, or you were playing a Call of Duty mission, if that makes sense. You go in and you watch the guy do all his things, and then, of course, a big tank rolls up and he has to fight the tank, and then something happens and this and that. So it kind of left me wanting a little more. I will say this, though. If you're looking for a fun action movie that doesn't really do much than that, you don't really have to follow the story, you don't have to follow the dialogue, none of that's good, then definitely check out Extraction. And like I said, with The King, it's on Netflix, so if you have Netflix, you're good to go.
I saw The King. That was really good. With Extraction?
Yeah, I heard nothing but good thing. I was gonna watch it yesterday. I didn't get a chance to, but I was gonna watch it, this week. That's on my list. But everyone was saying how great it was.
Can I just drop something? Yeah. So, Steven, movies like that, when people say that they are good, 9 times out of 10 is that they're gravitating toward the action, and the action is good to them. It's not necessarily that it's a good movie. It's just that they really enjoy seeing things blow up. They like the fight scenes, but they're not looking at the dialogue, the lines, the scenes. Did it move them emotionally? It's just basically blow up, fight, blow up. He got cut. It's gory. Yeah, they're paying attention to that kind of stuff, and then it's a good movie. But the Bourne series was a good movie, and it had all of that stuff in it too. That's the template that you need to follow behind. The Bourne series, that was perfect.
Yeah, and that being said, if you know what you're getting into, like you're going to watch, it's kind of like watching a Fast and Furious movie, right? If you're a fan of them and you know exactly what you want from it, then that's fine. I was expecting a little bit more, but this fills that kind of generic action itch.
Okay.
So, before I get into my film, because it's a direct-to-streaming release, which means that it would have been in theaters if it wasn't for this thing called the coronavirus. I saw a report about AMC, and AMC says that they are not opening up anytime soon. The earliest that you will see anything of an AMC unlocking the doors will be in June. So all those movies that you think are going to come out and be blockbuster summer openers in May, you're going to probably catch them on your streaming, or they're going to be postponed until a later date. More than likely, this direct-to-streaming has been working out pretty well. I actually like it. I just don't know how it's going to sustain with certain types of movies. I think we talked about this before. Certain movies need the theater. They need that big screen. They need the surround sound. They need that THX experience. Yeah. So with that being said, the film that I checked out was called The Hunt, and it stars Betty Gilpin. You know her best probably from Glorious Ladies of Wrestling on Netflix. She starred in Glow. Emma Roberts, who is Julia Roberts' niece, and Hilary Swank, Oscar Award-winning Hilary Swank. And this movie is about 12 people. They wake up kind of like, what's the movie, Saw style, in a mystery, not knowing where they are because they were drugged in the wilderness. And they find each other, and when they find each other and they're all collectively together, they are issued somehow, I don't want to give too much, but they get issued weapons. And then the hunt begins because someone just randomly starts shooting at them. And then the story begins to unfold from there. And how the story unfolds, you begin to figure out and see who's actually doing the hunting and who the huntees, who the prey is, who they are, and why they're there. And then in a surprise twist, the hunters then become the hunted. I thought it was good. I thought it was great. It's a lot of violence. It's a lot of gore. It's a lot of action. And it's kind of campy, too, at the same time. There's some, like, clever one-liners and some irony and satire. I enjoyed it. And it was perfect for direct-to-stream. Very perfect. I don't know necessarily if it would have been a film that I would have, hopped in the ride and went to the theater to see, but it was definitely entertaining. So it's worth, whatever your streaming price is for direct-to-stream, because I think it varies wherever it is. I saw mine on Amazon. I think it was like $6 or something. So it was definitely worth that for me to be able to sit in my PJs and watch it. But, yeah, that's the only film that I saw this weekend because I was working. So, yeah, definitely check it out. And there's many more options on there. If you have Amazon, if you have, what's the other, Netflix, definitely check out their direct-to-stream. I have to look at a list because they're coming up with the new list for the new month of May and what's going to be on direct stream. You'd be surprised. Some of the movies that you've been waiting for are going to pop up on your streaming service. And if you don't have a streaming service, now would be the time to probably get it. And I'm a little curious as to what this direct-to-stream now is doing for the bootleggers. How are they fanning out with all of this?
Well,
because it kind of cuts it. Go ahead.
Yeah, still doing illegal activities.
All right, they find something to do. But I will say that they're petitioning for those streaming services to waive fees for the next few months. So we'll see if that happens or not. But I saw The Pharmacist, which that's one of those things I was like just locked in. I just watched it all in one setting. That man had, I get why he did what he did, but he had nothing but time on his hands. But it was good. It was really good. And then I broke down and I paid my $3.02 to watch the Clark Sisters because I don't have Lifetime. But I watched that on Saturday night. And that was actually really good. That was like a really good TV movie. And then it was one more thing I saw. Oh, I finished up the Little Fires Everywhere with Kerry Washington and Reese Witherspoon. That show is so good. My sister, she saw that I had posted, I had watched it, so she binge watched it. And she was texting me. I was in the grocery store trying to grocery shop, and she was texting me about the show, how good it was, and how she could relate to certain things. And that is I can't wait for season 2. I hope they have a season 2. But all those are really good, really good.
That's a Hulu one, right?
Yeah, that's Hulu. Yep. And if you have Sprint, Hulu is free if you have Sprint.
Oh, okay. Didn't know that.
Yeah, that's how.
So you enjoyed The Pharmacist. There's another documentary on Netflix called. Oh man, what is it called?
It's not Waco, is it? Oh.
No, not Waco. It had something to do with drugs and the forensic pharmacist, and they basically investigate the drugs that people are confiscated from people when they're in a crime, and basically their job is to ascertain if the drug is authentic or not, and they sign an affidavit saying that the drug is authentic, and they send that to the courts, and that is what actually gets the person on the drug charge convicted, not necessarily because the cop said so, but because the forensic drug analysis comes back positive. Well, this story follows a woman. She was a drug scientist. She was working at the lab, and she basically...
I saw that.
You saw that.
I saw
What
that.
is the name of that?
I don't know the name of it, but I saw it. She was doing the drugs that she was testing. Yes.
Oh, my God. So you have Tiger King, then you have Evil Genius, and then you have this show, whatever this is, under that. That's the order that they come in. Bizarre, crazy, and insane.
Yes. Wow. Well, listen, I'm excited that next week we're all going to be on video. We'll be able to see each other. And you don't have to necessarily have on pants.
You know, I just have to say, Steven, I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut you off. I have to say this because, you know, this is my comedic moment right here. In case you don't know, Mr. Steven Knight is our boss. Steven Knight Show is his show. He controls the situation 100%, and I just want you to know that he waited until coronavirus to put us on live stream. No one had haircuts. No one is shaved. No one is looking camera ready. Thank you so much, Mr. Steven Knight.
Well, no, it was funny. It was funny when I broke the news to Janera. She said, "Oh no." I said, "What?" She said, "Now I have to comb my hair."
Oh my gosh, that's awesome! I can't wait to see it.
No,
oh my God,
it was interesting. I'll tell you. You know, we do our interviews sometimes, and not always live. But I was doing an interview, and this was something I did. So we had this politician had reached out to us in Portland to interview him, and so we had scheduled it for last Friday at 3:30 Pacific time. I guess coronavirus got in my head. In my mind, I'm thinking, oh, we're doing an interview at 12:30. You know, Atlanta, you know, Eastern Standard Time. So I prepared, and I had to cut my hair, and I did all that stuff, and I was sitting up here waiting. I said, he ain't call in. I was like, okay, that's all right. And so I was getting ready for my Zoom happy hour on Friday, and at 6:30, I had to check my email. Are we still on? And so I had to run upstairs and do the interview, but it worked out. It worked out.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's our boss.
Right. Well, listen, guys, thank you so much for letting us know what to spend our time on and what not to. Hope you stay safe, and we'll see you next week.
Sounds good.
Right.
Thanks a lot.
All right. Right back after this.
Spending time getting to know some things. Yeah. Major vibes. You're playing my favorite keys. Yeah. On my mind, I got you on repeat. Yeah. Day and night, you're singing your songs for me. I haven't loved somebody, gave somebody my time, it flew right by me. Love somebody, touch somebody, so right you crept up on me. Love somebody, gave somebody my mind, you drive me crazy. time. There's no need to rush this thing. Yeah. Keep it light while I slowly plug your strings. Yeah. You could write the sweetest melody. Yeah. Your bass line resonates in my bones down deep. I haven't loved somebody, gave you somebody. My time it flew right by me. Love somebody, touch somebody. So right, you crept up on me. Love somebody, gave somebody. My mind, you drive me crazy. Love somebody, touch somebody. So right, you could be my soulful baby, soulful. I'll call you my soulful baby, soulful. You could be my soulful baby, soulful. I'll call you my soulful baby, Tell me how you like it, baby. Tell me how you want it, baby. Tell me how you like it, baby. Tell me how you want it, baby. Tell me how you like it, baby. Tell me how you want it, baby. Tell me what you like to sing. Scream it till the every break. Be my soulful, soulful baby. Be my soulful baby. You could be my soulful baby, soulful. I'll call you my soulful baby, soulful. You could be. We gon' see what's up, make it understood, dog. We gon' see what's up, we gon' see what's good. We gon' see what's up, don't step to my
They don't like me. I don't fuck with none of these niggas, they won't fight me. Dog, I got enemies, they won't see me bleed. They don't wanna see me win, they don't wanna see me lead. Shit. They don't wanna see me go gold. Why they wanna see me go ghost? Watch me turn to smoke, dog. I don't wanna have no foe. They just wanna see me go gold. They just wanna see me go bro. I just wanna keep this known, dog. We gon' see what's good. I got homies in the town, so it's understood. You won't like this. I might share my location on nice shit. You don't wanna see me go rogue. I will never carry no gun. I don't need no burner, no stove. You don't wanna see me get cold. I just wanna see you fold. All this can't get old. Dog, we gon' see what's up. We gon' see what's good. We gon' see what's up. Make it understood. Dog, we gon' see what's up. We gon' see what's good. We gon' see what's up. Don't step in my hood. Dog, we gon' see what's up. We gon' see what's good. We gon' see what's up. Make it understood. Dog, we gon' see what's up. We gon' see what's good. We gon' see what's up. Don't step in my hood, dog, with the pen. You on whack shit, won't never sign a deal unless a nigga get max shit. Pull up, what's the deal? You can meet me in the hill. Last time you wasn't here, had me wondering what happened. Yeah. We gon' see you fall, see you fall, see you go, see you go. Catch your snow, catch your cold, catch your flow, I might let you know, I might let you know. We gon' see what's good. I got homies niggas in the town, so it's understood. You won't like this. I might share my location on nice shit. You don't wanna see me go roll. I will never carry no gun. I don't need no burner, no stove. You don't wanna see me get cold. I just wanna see you fold. All this can't get old. Dawg, we gon' see what's up. We gon' see what's good. We gon' see what's up. Make it understood. Dawg, we gon' see what's up. We gon' see what's good. We gon' see what's up. Don't step in my hood, dawg. We gon' see what's up. We gon' see what's good. We gon' see what's up. Make it understood, dawg. We gon' see what's up. We gon' see what's good. We gon' see what's up. Don't step in my hood, dawg.
This is Ron, and you are listening to The Stephen Knight Show.
Well, listen, that's our show. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we can't wait for you to see us next week as we bring on our video recordings. And be safe, wash your hands, and we'll see you next Monday. Good night.
Tonight it's all eyes on me. Everything's gonna be alright. And when we get there, I'ma see a pretty young thing. I'ma ask her to take my hand. Head to the floor, and we gon' dance. And when we get there,